We're here to bring you the latest hits, inside scoop, and unforgettable moments from the diamond. So grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks, settle into your favorite spot, and join us as we explore the highs, the lows, and all the excitement of baseball. This is the seventh inning stretch, where the game is always in play.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Seventh inning stretch, trade deadline special. Logan Stone, I know this is Christmas time for you around there. I'm ready for it. I'm like, all right, I got the week off here. There's a perfect opportunity for us to do a little live Christmas Day. Oh, no, sorry, trade deadline day.
Christmas in
special.
July, baby.
Logan Stone, how are we doing out there?
Oh, I am. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. I love Christmas. This is all. I mean, this is my favorite week of the year. It's Hanukkah and Christmas rolled into one. And so, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna there's a lot to get into. You said that you've been keeping me up to date on these as well. We've been kind of going back and forth all day. So appreciate anybody that's tuning in here. Be sure to comment in live on the show here when you get a chance. All right, Logan Stone. I feel like this is maybe one of the crazier trade deadlines we've seen in a while. Like for the last week, it built up. I felt like with that Rosa Reina trade. And now we're getting it all the way to now where what was the last trade? This was our last one, probably about 25 minutes ago. Yeah. Tanner Scott to the Padres, right? So, I mean, we're getting deals built up all the time. What's your thoughts of that Tanner Scott going to the Padres there? That's our last kind of big trade. Big one. I mean, one of the main relief pitchers on the market, right?
Yeah, this is I mean, he was the best closer that was on the on the trade block. And it was just surprising that it was. Just how much they sent to the Marlins. Tanner Scott, 1.18 ERA, 3.70 ERA plus, a 1 WHIP, and a 3.24 FIP. He was probably the most favorite reliever on the market, and they just get him. They also get Hoeing. 2.70 ERA, 1.63 ERA plus, 1.26 WHIP, and a 3.26 FIP. The interesting thing to me, John Heyman just reported that the Dodgers were another team in the end that were really interested in Scott, and that kind of triggered the Padres to maybe over do it with.
They don't care about prospects.
Yeah, they don't care about prospects, but I saw
seems like your type of GM. That seems like your type of GM right there.
Yeah. I don't really care. But yeah, it was interesting. I think this was I can't remember who said this, but it said Padres are sending their number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 29 prospects to the Marlins in the deal. They have now traded 12 of their top 15 prospects in trades this year. That includes Cease and Arias. Man. 12 of their 15 top prospects.
So they really don't. They don't care in that regard.
They don't care. And so that was kind of interesting to me, just how much they sold for that. And Tanner Scott, he's a free agent at the end of this year. So to me, I think it's so weird how I've never seen the relief market be so expensive in a sense. We saw yesterday with Kikuchi, he was overvalued by the Astros. They overpaid for him. Yeah. And today we're seeing that with Tanner Scott, in my opinion. He's a really great pitcher, but I mean, you're getting him for 2 months. So I don't know.
Now that was just the latest one. There were so many today. Is there any of the? I have some of the ones going on today down at the bottom. We had. What's kind of like surprised you a little bit, maybe for today? Do you expect anything to happen? I mean, this is kind of where I was thinking we could lead with it because I feel like it's still have an hour left, right? We got about 55 minutes left till the end of the deadline here. The big pictures to me, Logan, is the storyline here, right?
Yeah.
To me, that's the big storyline.
Yeah, I'm surprised Jack Flaherty hasn't gone yet. I don't know. I think I get it. Kind of, you want to wait till the last minute to get all these players, so that way you can get the biggest package possible. But with Jack Flaherty, it's not like he's the number one guy out. I mean, he may be the number one guy to some teams, but is this our Joshy Poo?
I don't know if it is, but absolute BS today. Can we confirm if this is the Edwards, Josh? Can we confirm somewhere?
How are these guys not already on a flight to their new teams?
I don't know. I think Snell. Snell to me is the interesting one because the Giants to me,
Yeah.
they are the most. Snell is like in a weird spot with them, right? Like he's a free agent next year. They can't give him a qualifying offer. I feel like and Crochet, like what are we doing? Like he's available. The White Sox should be. I know they don't want to get undersold, but right now they're not in a very good position. So, and I feel. What do you think about him with that October thing as well? Like him saying that he needs an extension. What was it? The GM Gets yesterday came out saying he wasn't a big fan of that comment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, between him and Snell, I gotta think one of them is going to go here.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I don't like. I get why he's saying it. I mean, it's his first year as a starter, and D got Logan's beard is finally. Shut up,
Yes.
Josh. Oh gosh. I'm surprised he figured out how to work a computer. But oh my gosh, what was I on? Crochet. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, I get why he's doing it, and I don't think it's as much of a deterrent as people think it would be. But it's just weird. It's a weird thing to say. I know it's not Crochet saying it. It's probably his agents saying it, but
His agent speaks for him though.
Yeah, but I think they were pushing it like saying, "Hey, you want to be covered in case you get injured." Because
that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it.
What do you mentioned Flaherty? He's the one. Like, okay, we have Snell. He's kind of come on late, but Flaherty's the one too that also I would think would be able to go at some point right now, right?
Flaherty. Oh, I think Flaherty should. I think he should have already gone. That was kind of my thing earlier was that Flaherty was like it's kind of weird that it's taken this long. I feel like he would have been gone yesterday and not, the final minutes of the trade deadline. But I think Scooball, I don't think he's ever going to get traded. I don't think he's going to get traded this year. To me, Snell, I think it's weird that the Giants, because I saw yesterday that the Giants were not as willing to get rid of Snell now because Soler is going to because Soler's contract is getting eaten by the Braves. But I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Winner chicken dinner.
Yeah. Paul Blackburn. What a move! The starting pitcher there. A's giving him up. Like they haven't traded Rooker yet. They haven't traded him yet. He's still.
I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't said anything about Rooker.
He'll eventually get. I don't think he's going to get dealt. But he was 2 on fire in July. They still have control over him, and I don't think any team's going to give up enough for him. Which team has made the best deal so far when it comes to value? I don't know. I'm still waiting for Atlanta to do something. I know they like the Soler deal. Like maybe they get that 2021 Magic left. Aaron, I know your Mets. They did make a few good trades with Winkler as well. I like that one, but that was pretty good value.
Are they going to pay Paul Blackburn $250 million for 3 years and treat him like he's an ace? Because that seems to be the trend for every stinking.
I don't know. I just feel like
to St. Louis for Gorman to DC.
I don't know.
Who's Ruiz?
Rooker and the guy that got 67 SBs last year for us. Get him out of the minors. Rooker to Atlanta for Magic City. These big four pitchers are the biggest deal. So we'll say Scooble's out of it. I kind of agree. He's the guy that's not going to go. But Snell changes a division, changes a playoff race. Crochet changes a playoff race. Flaherty, I'm not completely sold on.
He's a good number two.
But even like Aaron's Mets, they should be going after Flaherty. The Guardians should be going after Flaherty.
See, I think the Mets should be getting rid of Alonso.
Why? They're in it.
But are they? Are they really?
Yes, they are.
Okay, sure, they're in a playoff contention, but so is half the league.
Yeah, but they're in the top 3 at this point, right? So I mean, you can't throw in the towel now. They're only a half game behind the top wild card spot.
Okay, but I mean, there's so much need for offense right now. Why is there like I would to me if I'm the GM, I'm being realistic. The Mets had said the beginning of the year, this isn't our year. This is a retooling year, and we're gonna go back and next year we're gonna really vamp up. Sorry, I'm got
But he should go to a contender, Josh. He
crochet.
should. The Dodgers should be looking to trade for him right now.
Oh gosh, but I mean he's worried. He's worried.
They
about
need
himself.
a lefty reliever. They got, but is it because of the 3-way trade yesterday? They wouldn't trade again with the Dodgers. You think?
No, I think honestly, I heard someone say it. I think it was Joel Sherman and that other GM guy, the old Mets GM on MLB Network. They had said that I think the White Sox, they got that trade for Fede yesterday, where they basically got nothing, and then they saw the Astros overpay for Kikuchi, and then they were deterred by Crochet. And they have 2 years of control for Crochet. Oh, we have breaking news.
Whoa, what we got?
Brian De La Cruz goes to the Pirates. Your boys.
All right, we get a nice little deal there then. A little De La Cruz, a little outfield action.
Not L.A. De La Cruz, but Brian.
Not Ellie, no. Is that his brother or cousin? I feel like he is whatever.
I don't think they're even related.
So those are some of the big pitchers there out there. So De La Cruz to the Pirates. Pirates need to get some hitting. I mean, it's not a bad trade.
No. Yeah, so let's see. Right now, 454 plate appearances, 245 batting average, 289 on base, 707 OPS, and a 93 OPS plus. Not the best. 18 home runs and 51 RBIs, though.
It's a Pirates move. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Where does he play? I can never outfielder.
Outfield, yeah. No, he plays for the Marlins. I've had him on the fantasy team a few times. He can get streaky. Hits lefties well. The Pirates, though, to me, need to make a bigger move to be a serious contender, and that's what I'm kind of. I don't know. That's where some of these teams are confusing me. I don't understand. There's a lot. Maybe it's because of so many teams being in the playoff race, Logan. But I'm kind of been disappointed. I feel like there's been a ton of trades, but is saying a lot of mid trades also fair at the same time? You know what I mean? There have been some big names.
There hasn't been that big trade yet.
What was the biggest trade? That 3-team trade yesterday?
I think Jazz was that big trade, but it kind of flew under the radar really quickly.
Well, I mean, that was a big trade, and let's get into that trade actually real quick.
Okay.
What do you make of that one for them?
For the Yankees, I think that was what?
A steal?
Oh yeah, I think that was I didn't recognize any of the players. They didn't have to give up Jones. They didn't have to give up Dominguez. So I think if they don't have to give up those two, they're pretty much okay with getting rid of that. And especially for Jazz Chisholm, he's one of those guys that he will pump up the team. They may not like how he handles himself, but I think that's the type of player that fires you up. So I like that. I like that for the Yankees. I think the Yankees need that kind of a spice to their locker room.
And he's willing to play third, which obviously Torres being a little baby about.
Yeah.
What about that? That's ridiculous.
That was dumb. Gleyber Torres, who hasn't been relevant for the Yankees in years, decides now he's going to take a stance against being moved around. It's you're stupid right now, Gleyber. I didn't realize Fede needed Walker to come over to St. Louis. Oh yeah, that was weird. Everyone was saying that Fede, a Fede trade, had to include Jordan Walker.
It sounds like the Cardinals have held out pretty well on him.
Yeah, I would be willing to trade him.
You were okay trading him though. Would you? Like the Cardinals seem like an interesting team where they could like sell somebody like Walker for Crochet or something like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe they give up Walker and kind of has an enticing type of power hitter, throw in some other prospects. That seems like the type of guy they could have acquired, maybe along with Roberts.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given Walker for Crochet just because I'm not really on that bandwagon yet.
But you don't like him?
It's not that I don't like him. I just don't trust him yet. I don't know because it's his first year as a starter. I don't typically like first year starters, and then
he's got the stuff for it.
Yeah, he does.
He's electric.
Plus, I think he's had injuries in the past that worry me. So I just want to. I wouldn't trade Walker for him.
That's fair. What do we got, Logan? 45 minutes to go here.
45 minutes.
Are we hearing anything? I'm looking online constantly. There's some talk about the Diaz maybe still with the Pirates deal. I'm hearing kind of that. That would be a decent pickup for the Pirates. Get a little offense to go with that.
Yeah, they're still in that one.
Diaz.
Yandy Diaz. Astros and Yankees are still the ones most interested. I still don't think that I don't think the Rays will trade Yandy yet.
Can the Tigers go without trading Flaherty?
No.
How can they let this deadline pass without trading him? They have to, right?
Yeah, that would be a big misstep, and it would be really dumb because they signed him with the intention of trading him. Basically, it's not like they thought, "Oh, we're a playoff team this year," and so that would just be stupid for them to not cash in on Flaherty's success this year.
I mean, especially when you know you're probably not going to sign him the next year.
No,
right? And you've made it obvious you're trading away Chase, and you took him out of your start yesterday. I feel like that's the move that I don't know about Snell and Crochet, but Logan, I feel pretty confident Flaherty is going to go here before our podcast is up today.
Yeah, he would. I think he has to.
You think Yankees though?
I think Yankees, but I mean, I don't know. It just seems like it's slowed way down in the last.
Would they trade Dominguez for him?
For Flaherty?
Yeah.
No, not Flaherty. Not for 2 months.
But yeah, probably.
Scooball, yeah, they would trade Dominguez, I would think. But I mean, man, it would be a lot. It would just be interesting. But I mean, I think the Yankees are. I think they're keeping their eyes on Snell. I think even though Snell is not being talked about a lot, I think Snell is the main objective for them.
Yeah. Josh kind of asked it earlier, and I kind of had it up on the board as well. What do you think's been the most impactful trade this week? We had Jazz. You answered that one. I think a Rosarena to Seattle is going to be a decent trade for them. I think that gives them a little swagger on offense, even if he's not always hitting the way he should. He does kind of bring a little clutchness to him. He's had a bad start.
Hold on one second.
To get to his numbers. So I think a Rosarena should be there as well at some points. Can you guys explain how the Padres have so much prospects they traded for the Marlins? Yeah, that was the one that who'd they trade? They got Adams, right? In the deal, they ended up getting Adams from the Rays. A lot of people said they gave up some of their. Yeah, they said they gave up some of their best prospects. The Padres and the Dodgers, Logan, seem to have that ability to be like, "Yep, we're giving up 4, and then we get 4 new ones in the top 10." Like it's kind of weird how they always work.
Yeah, they're really good at developing players, and they can trade them. I mean, basically willy-nilly because they don't value prospects as much, and prospects are kind of stupid. I mean, in a sense. So, hogging them is dumb, but yeah, they develop players really well. Dodgers especially. I mean, it's basically a factory to them. So I mean, they're just amazing organizations at developing. I wonder what it would be like if they'd never traded their prospects. How good they're. I mean, it seems like Drew Thorpe is looking good.
Yeah, I kind of get a little upside there for the White Sox.
But Dylan Cease just threw a no hitter for them. So I mean, it's not
And
like
he's been on fire.
they're regretting anything. So this is, I mean, they're just really good at developing players, and that's worked well for them.
What do you think about the Mets and the Pirates? As the Pirates make this trade, let's start with them. We'll kind of go with the Mets. I kind of feel like we talked about the Mets. They're in a good spot a little bit. You want them to trade Alonso. I don't see that happening. But then you have a Pirates team that's 54-52. You have maybe the best May acquisition of the whole year, Paul Skeens, right? So you get him coming on the boat, and then you're going to get Jones back, you would think, in a little bit here at some point. I know they have to overtake a few teams in the standings. The Cardinals and them are tied. The D-backs, they're a game and a half behind them. But then right there, you got the Padres and Mets tied for that second and third wild card spot. And then now they add De La Cruz. I feel like they should be kind of in that Flaherty boat too. Like, add another pitcher, get another one if you have to. Let's load up. Let's get it done. And what do you kind of make of the Pirates here a little bit?
I think it's not really a push for a playoff position, but it's more of a kind of a showing of who they are and trying to make themselves seem cool to players for next season. I think if they go out and get Yandy Diaz, who is a free agent in 2027, and then they get a couple of these players that aren't rentals right now.
So you're saying we're going to do a typical Pirates deadline. If they're not going to – Flaherty gives him a little sizzle. I understand he's a rental. I'm not saying trade the farm for him, but, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen with Detroit. Maybe the Pirates come in and can steal something like that.
I think this is kind of they're planning for 2025 right now. And if they can get Yandy Diaz, that's kind of why I like them to get Yandy, if anything.
Yeah.
More than the Yankees or Astros. I don't think the Astros really can afford Yandy. Of course, I say that, and I'm sure he's about to get traded to the Astros. But I think the Pirates would be really cool for getting him. And then, they have a first baseman / infielder for the next couple of years, and they can just go build around Yandy. They can get They have O'Neal Cruz. They have the third baseman whose name escapes me, who's Hayes, Brian Hayes.
Josh's favorite player.
They have Skeens. They have a couple of really good pieces. And if in 2025, they're going to say, hey, to any free agent, they're going to say, hey, we have Paul Skeens, we have Yandy Diaz, we have Brian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz, we have Brian Reynolds.
Will they trade for Yandy? I don't see the Pirates doing that. I think that's why they got De La Cruz. I think they weren't willing to give up an extra prospect, and now they fell back to their second plan.
I don't know. I think Brian De La Cruz was.
They are being a weak franchise. Come on, Pirates! You're 50. You owe it to your fan base. You are one of the worst franchises over the last 25 years. You owe it to go a little bit for a playoff run. They need to be thinking that. If I was a Pirates fan, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. That's what we need. You got to go for it. What are we doing here? But I like De La Cruz. He's a good bat, but he's a streaky bat. And so that's where I'm at with that team. So we'll see if that's our latest trade. There's a few rumors out there. Me and Logan will be with you as we're getting close to about the half an hour mark left here on the deadline, Logan. It's been fun doing this with you so far. We talked about the Jazz trade a little bit, what that meant for the Yankees. We've kind of touched on the Pirates a little bit. The other team I kind of want to is the Rays a little bit. Not in terms of I feel like they're trading guys, but they still have Fairbanks they could unload if they want. They still have Diaz if they want to unload. And then the Blue Jays. What do you kind of make of the Blue Jays? I felt like they made the right decision not trading Guerrero and Bichette. And I do like them moving on from Kikuchi. It sounds like they got a great haul from what people say in the baseball world. Getting that trade done. I don't know. I feel like the Blue Jays made the right move. Yeah.
So that funny you said that. The Pirates are finalizing a deal to acquire super utility man Isaiah Kiner-Falefa from the Toronto Blue Jays.
Is that the guy that was on the Rangers for a while?
Yeah, Rangers, and then anyways, but it was a big. I think it was I don't know. I think the Blue Jays missed out on not trading, and maybe they asked just the moon for Guerrero.
He was the biggest fish.
I think it's kind of smart that they didn't trade Bichette yet, just because he had a down year. But I mean, I would trade him in the offseason for sure, just because I don't like Bichette, honestly. He's not my favorite.
That injury probably killed his trade value this year.
Yeah, and so I think Toronto. I mean, they need. I feel like they just needed to wipe the slate clean, and they needed to get rid of Gossman. He's aging. I think Chris Bassett would have been really good to trade him, but we're hearing nothing from those guys. I mean, they got rid of Richards and a lot of their bullpen. Yasriel Garcia, is that his name?
To the Mariners.
Yeah, and
Garcia.
Yeah, and I really think that Gossman and Bassett would have been really good players to trade. I think the Yankees could use Gossman or Bassett. I think a couple other teams could have really used it. The Dodgers
spent so much money though this year, Logan. They spent $400 million plus in like extra salary, and then they spent money on renovations for their stadium. I have a feeling that's kind of where that was leaning with them. Yeah, Calvin Biggio to LA, under the radar, baby, under the radar move. Is he still on the roster? No, he's there. I feel like they're, and then so I don't know. Look, those are the teams. The Mets, they trade for Aaron. We kind of skipped on them for a second. I do want to get back to the Mets though, because Winkler, they get him, which is a pretty decent addition. I don't think they're going to go out of their way for another pitcher, so I think they're pretty set on where they're going to be. They trade for the reliever Stanek from the Mariners. He ends up giving you a home run up on his second pitch, but he should be a solid addition for them. I mean, I know everybody wants to make fun of the Mets a lot. They have the OMG they go to, which has kind of been funny there as well. They have a lot of flair to them. The Mets have a tendency to fall off once in a while that second half, but I still feel like they could use another starter. I don't think they will get one. Do you think Winkler's enough to get them into the playoffs? Basically as they stand with the addition of Stanek?
He's pretty awesome this year.
He is pretty good.
And Winkler, but
Winker.
Oh gosh. But yeah, Winker.
You know how I work.
Sorry, it's just I tried to let it go, but
you know how there it is with work.
But yeah, that was. Oh gosh, but yeah, he's a really. He's a really great player. I mean, he's a rental, so that's kind of interesting to me that they are going after a rental. But I mean, it's not a turnaround for them, though. I think. I mean, I talked about Gossman and Bassett. They would have been really good to go back to the Mets, or Bassett to back to the Mets. I think. I just don't know what the Mets are really doing. I think they need a big player. I think they need an actual big player, not some of these other guys who are just just kind of not doing the job for them long term at least. I mean, yeah, McNeil's going to get hot, but for a month and then he's going to fall off, and then.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
So I don't know where the Mets can really go. It's kind of for me the same with the Padres. Like, cool, you got Tanner Scott, but that's not really something that puts you over, in my opinion. I think the Mets have kind of put themselves in a corner where you pay for these low level guys and then don't really see much success because you don't really have any room to grow, basically.
The other team is the Twins a little bit here. Twins and Guardians. I'm confused on what they're like. The Guardians, to me, I know a lot of people say keep it the same. They're playing well. That's another Flaherty spot I'd like to see. Their pitching to me, Logan, would be a big issue if you enter but they got Alex Cobb today from the Giants, but he hasn't pitched all year. That can't be somebody you necessarily depend on going into the second. So, like, the Guardians are like, one of the best stories in Major League Baseball to this point. They have the most wins in the American League. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that's interesting. 22 games above 500.
they have the prospects, but them and the Twins are like, I feel like they're just I don't know, like, why aren't we making a jump? Is it just that we're scared of the Orioles or the Yankees that we'll get eliminated? Is it that that we don't want to give up these prospects because we're too cheap of a franchise? This feels like a perfect opportunity to get a guy like Flaherty that's not going to cost you the moon or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, this seems like a good chance for them to load up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really know and it's amazing to me that they are 22 games above and have such an abysmal uh, starting pitching. I mean, to me, that's just interesting to me. I mean, I was looking at their stats today. Uh, Hold on, I'll pick it up in a minute, but it was just, I don't think they had a guy who pitched under 4, had a sub 4 ERA. And it's just surprising to me that they are just they're so dominant. They just got Tanner Bye back, who is probably their best player. He had a 3.48 ERA, not great, but not horrible. Ben Lively, he's been good, 3.44. Carlos Carrasco, Cookie, he's a 5.60 ERA. That's kind of what you expect from him. Tristan McKenzie fell off. He's got a 5.11. So they really had. Now their bullpen has been amazing, lights out. They're all. The highest ERA they got is a 3.12, and the rest of them are in the ones. Emmanuel Clase has a 0.73 ERA. So the bullpen has been keeping them alive, but the starting, the starting has just been abysmal for them, and so they need a starting pitcher, but I don't know if you can, with 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes left, can they go and get Jack Flaherty? I don't know.
They would have had already be in talks with it probably.
And with the Tigers, would they even be willing to trade Jack Flaherty in division? I don't. And
I think
so.
I think so. I don't think the Guardians would. I don't think they'd be fearful of Guardians re-signing him.
So I don't know. It's interesting to me, but is Jack Flaherty going to push him over? Alex Cobb, he's got to make a rehab. He's got one more rehab start before he can make his debut in 2024. In 2023, he had 3.87 ERA, a 1.08 ERA plus, and a 4.01 FIP with a 1.32 WHIP. That's probably something that's better than what the Guardians could hope for, but it's So
and to back it up, Binge Podcast, this is what we're shocked still Flaherty's there. We got to think he's the name. When we talked about Crochet, we talked about Snell, Scooble's not going. I think we can cross him out. Mason Miller's not going. Now you had Scott go. Flaherty is the big name left where you're expecting him to go. He has the stuff to maybe make a difference down the stretch here. Appreciate you guys tuning in here live on YouTube. Apparently X makes you have to go to a premium account now. And so Variety Sports Network does not have a premium. So appreciate anybody tuning in here on YouTube. Like we said, we got about 25 minutes left to go. You recognize the voice over here, Logan Stone, joining me as well here on a Tuesday, right here where the deadline is going. Josh Edwards at work over there, tuning in once in a while. Appreciate Aaron tuning in as well. There we go. So we're at 25 minutes ago. Tyler McGurk also tuning in. Hopefully we'll get a Tyler McGurk. Maybe phone call here about the Giants. His team has given up a lot. We'll see what Snell does.
Hey, Tyler, are you? Yeah, okay. I was just about to ask you if you were surprised Snell is still Giant, and
I think he wants Matt Chapman to go too. I think he wants all the guys on that 1 year. They traded Soler. So I'm surprised Logan is in his car. This is a special day. It's special.
I actually care today. No.
What do you think that Snell part? Let's go back to Snell that Tyler's on just for a sec, because he gets the 15 Ks. The Giants, like I said, they're in a weird spot. They've been trading like mediocre players. They're kind of like the Reds to me in that regard. Like they're kind of selling, but they're not selling yet. Is that what makes sense? Like it's like, well, let's keep our fan base somewhat intrigued. Snell will be an interesting one here.
I said this at the beginning of the year. It's not. it's not like they were gonna, be earth shattering. It seemed like. I mean, they had their biggest name that they got was Jorge Soler, and Matt Chapman was not. 4 years ago, Matt Chapman would have been like the greatest thing ever if the Giants got him. But I mean, over the last couple of years, he's fallen off. So it's not like they were gonna be favorites to beat the Dodgers or anything. And I mean, my prediction was that Snell was going to be traded at the deadline because he's got an opt out at the end of the season. And I think he's going to take it because it's $30 million. And so I think Snell just needs to. I mean, I don't understand really what the idea is. Do they think that they're going to be able to get something out of this? I mean, are they going to go deep into the playoffs and Snell's going to say, you know what, I'm going to re-sign with you guys? But like, to me, it just doesn't make sense that there is no movement on Snell right now that we're hearing. I heard
could it be a hater situation where we're coming in last minute, like last year? That was one of the most exciting trades at the end of the deadline I can recall in recent memories. But we'll see if that can. Maybe that's what Snell gives at the end here, something
possibly
like that. What do you think about the Orioles here? Why aren't the Orioles doing anything to contend? Like, I feel like they're doing a few things, right? A few, but it's not. Again, the big move. Again, the Flaherty move that's out there. They ended. They got. I feel like their big move was Burns in the offseason. So I feel like that's why they upgraded the bullpen and all those kind of smaller moves at this point. And the Orioles, like I said, they're not a big market team. They're not gonna. They've never proven to do something like that.
I mean, I think they were in for a while on Crochet, and it just wasn't going to happen. I was surprised
Scott too.
Yeah, Scott. I think Scott was.
I think the Padres just overwhelmed the Marlins.
I think the Orioles are just a team that they have so many great player prospects coming up that, like, if you say, hey, I want Garrett Crochet, the number one thing that the White Sox are going to ask for is Jackson Holiday. And then you can't really get any movement on.
Yeah.
That's always been my understanding. And it's not just the Orioles, but it's basically anyone who has, like, the top prospect. The Cardinals a couple of years ago when they wanted Soto, they said, or the Nationals said, we want Jordan Walker, and that was it. But Zach Eflin, he was a really good pickup. I was surprised by Trevor Rogers.
That one was a little surprising.
Yeah, so he has a 4.53 ERA, 96 ERA plus, 152 WHIP, 4.42 FIP, and a 185 strikeout to walk ratio. They traded Norby, who in the minors was their number 5 prospect. 297 average, 389 on base, 908 OPS, and he played 9 games in the majors this year. Stowers in the minors this year, 240 average, 322 on base, 877 OPS. He played 19 games in the majors this year. I was kind of surprised. It seemed to me, and it seemed like the consensus on MLB Network from all those analysts, because they know minor leaguers better than I do, that the Orioles overpaid. And I was kind of thinking maybe they could have just tried to get Jesus Luzardo, even though he's injured. I
think his injury, like Bo Bichette, not the same player, of course, but I feel like that, like Mason Miller too. I feel like that just kind of changed some of the talk towards that. I want to get some of the comments in here. Tyler, he said he liked the effing pickup. That was a good one. I like always saying effing. That's how I call it, Logan. Just for you. I know I did that on purpose for you.
Oh my gosh!
Don't you miss me? We got that.
Yeah.
We'll pull something up last minute. Josh, you're probably right there. Orioles accomplished a lot. Got 2 starters and upgrade to their staff. Love Stowers, but he was not going to play. Love Norrie, but they needed pitching badly. And they still have Holiday, and they haven't given up him.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Can the O's give their fans a big O? That's a loaded question there, right? Look at that's a loaded question there. Let's see. If
it is a loaded one.
It is a loaded one, regardless. I feel like that's still the case. I mean, you're watching the TV right now. Are you seeing anything? I got it up here online. I'm kind of following the guys. Give us a short, just check it in. Mets mailed it in the trade deadline. Give us a shot network. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like your guys' stuff as well over there. Yes, like I said, we were just talking about your Mets over there. We think they need to go get a Flaherty. They need to make a move here if they want to like really be contenders, as they say. So we'll see. I don't see that happening with your Mets. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the Mets just got a reliever, Huascar Brazoban. I've never heard of him.
I'm glad you said it and not me.
Yeah. So I mean,
would have been much
nothing.
worse.
Doesn't sound like too big of a deal, but
I probably would have said the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. That's probably what I would have said on that one. So good thing. Yeah.
So
what do you got, Logan?
The last day we've heard a lot of chatter about Dylan Carlson being traded, and in this last 20 minutes we haven't heard anything about Dylan Carlson. And if he doesn't get traded, I will be angry, just because that would not make any sense not to trade him. Especially with all the interest that was going about today. Another player I was surprised that's not getting.
Ibadaga. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Jake Berger. I thought Jake Berger would be traded.
I felt like it's funny you mentioned it. I was actually driving home my sub would say the same thing we were talking about. That he's like, don't you think Jake Berger will get traded? I was like, it's funny. I actually haven't heard much talk about him, though.
Yeah, I with every Marlin getting traded, it just seems like that would be a way to go.
What do you think about Gorman and DC? You think they do go here in the last minute, or you think the Cardinals are done?
Carlson should be going. I actually saw someone just say, some Cardinals fan account say that it wasn't surprising that. It's not surprising that Carlson's going to be traded at the last minute. They did that with Flaherty last year. So
true.
I'm sure that they're just trying to get as much as possible. But Gorman, I don't see Gorman going anywhere.
Why is that?
Unless I think he's got a lot that he can give, and I just haven't heard anything. Finalizing it. The Orioles are finalizing the deal to oh my gosh, wow. Baltimore Orioles are finalizing a deal to acquire outfielder Eloy Jimenez from the Chicago White Sox. So
damn.
Yeah, so your Orioles.
You haven't heard his name involved in there.
Yeah, I was surprised that Eloy. I would hope that the Orioles.
Holiday involved in that? Holiday wouldn't be involved in that,
no,
right?
No.
Because Roberts is better than Jimenez.
Yeah. Told you the deals would do something.
Yeah, but Jimenez can be streaky good.
Yeah, but he just has an injury issue, so I wouldn't.
That he definitely does back it up.
Yeah, and so they would have to. I mean, they wouldn't give up much for him. I mean, it's definitely not a top 10 prospect, but I'm sure it was more of a salary dump for the White Sox more than anything. I expected something bigger than that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, Gorman, I think we would have heard something from Gorman. If we did go do something for Gorman, it wouldn't be – I don't know who they would give. Probably a starting pitcher, but –
I feel like the Cardinals are done. They're not making any more moves.
I don't know. I think –
you guys are saying Gorman's going at the end. I don't see it. The Cubs make the weird move with Morel, so they're a team that's confusing to me in the Central as well. Them and the Rangers to me are in the same boat. I'm like – they get Chafin, they trade Lorenz. Like, I get they need relief pitching. I know they're getting DeGrom back and Scherzer, so that's probably what they're banking on. But those two teams to me are kind of like doing the same kind of happy dance. Like, let's stay equal, but we'll do the, like they're not like they're not going one way or the other. What do you think the Rangers out there?
Yeah,
who's got French fries?
Who's got French fries? So update on White Sox. Basically, Bob Nightingale said the White Sox dump outfielder Eloy Jimenez's contract. I don't remember what his contract was, but it was pretty big. So I'm sure that they're probably eating part of his salary too. But Christopher Morel, he's got another year. No, he is a free agent in 2027.
And so is
He's not.
Paredes is too. So that, I mean, that's why they made the move. You know, like the Cubs get him, but it seems like the Cubs are making. It seems like they went for it a little bit more than I thought they would go. I don't know if that's going for it, but they added a smart move pass and said, well, don't read in too much into it. But, you know, to me, that's a little bit more of an aggressive move. So kind of an interesting thought for me on them.
Yeah, it just seemed like a one step forward, one step back. You get Paredes, but then you get rid of Morel. So it's like, why?
Yeah, it's kind of an odd thing here as we kind of get to 15 minutes left here on the deadline. And as you know, things will always come in a few minutes late here on it. So me and Logan will be here with you on Variety Sports Network 7th inning stretch. Appreciate everybody that's commenting in here with it. A lot of big things here to happen. A lot of things to be decided here in the last 15 minutes. Logan, we kind of been talking about multiple teams along the way here. You know, what's been the most impactful trade, blah, blah, blah. What do you think has been one of the more underrated moves here as we enter the end of the deadline here? Is there a move because there's been so many damn relief pitchers.
Yeah.
So I feel like those guys always go underrated at the end, but you have one specifically that stands out? Ricardo, Moneyball. Where did Ricardo go? Is he still available?
Ricardo, yeah.
Who knew you'd make a movie around Ricardo Rico?
Change the whole thing.
What a relief pitcher.
You know, actually, just because it's off the top of my head, and I'm sure I can think of it in a little bit more as I marinate on it. Andrew Chafin to the Rangers. I think that would be I think that's an underrated one. He's such a dog. I mean, he's always good. I was telling you how angry I was. The Cardinals, it seems like they're always in on Andrew Chafin, and then they never get him. And it drives me up a wall. Hey, it's my boy.
What's up, guys?
What's up? You got a little surprise guest here. Tyler, we got about 10 minutes left in this deadline. Are you happy with your Giants? Are they not? Why aren't they getting rid of Snell yet?
Because Farhan is a terrible GM. We've seen going to sit there and do nothing. He'll make the little minor moves like he always does.
So
But
do you
we'll have
feel
the
like
same roster we have.
I was just saying the Rangers kind of did that. Is that what you think your Giants did right now too? Did the minor moves? Just enough to tell the fans we did something?
I mean, if the fans
Why aren't they
buy in,
trading Snell? Snell should be gone.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, what are you going to do about it? I hope they trade him. I hope they trade everybody. Hicks should be gone. Snell should be
Would
gone.
you do Vaughn
Anybody
for Snell straight up?
Absolutely. Snell's going to be gone next year anyway. His agent isn't going to opt into a 30. He's going to want multiple years at some point. He's not going to work on a one-year deal. Forrest doesn't work that way.
I was thinking a three-way trade where maybe he ends up somewhere. You guys get Vaughn with the White Sox somewhere along the line, but I think you guys are stuck. Your Dodgers, you predicted when you were on with us last Thursday, Edwards, Tyler McGurk tuning in here for a little bit, chiming in with his thoughts. What do you think is with the Dodgers there? Logan and I have been talking a lot about them. We felt like they maybe would make a few more moves, right, Logan here, like Crochet or stuff like that. You expected the same thing. The Mariners jumped in on Rosarena. Roberts Jr. still on the White Sox. Crochet still on the White Sox. The Dodgers are in your division, but now you see the Padres make these moves. The NL West top teams are not afraid to trade everybody.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, even the Diamondbacks will make moves. The Giants just get stuck in their ways. They're too scared to make a mistake. The Dodgers still got 20 minutes. They'll figure something out to add some talent to this roster. They're not going to
make a late move here.
They have to. They're so injury riddled. They're like whole starting their injury report is better than most people's lineups at this point.
Josh wants to tune in. Tyler, you're showing up with those devilish good looks, a real beard for Logan to admire.
Oh, don't take shots at Logan. Logan's a great human being.
Thank you. So Mark Feinsand has just tweeted, "Never say never until the deadline has passed." But it appears the Rays will not be trading Yandy Diaz per sources.
They must have just wanted a little too much. I mean, the Pirates, that would have been a great fit for them.
Yeah, and then we have another breaking news. The Phillies will acquire White Sox reliever Tanner Banks from the White Sox.
Harold Banks?
Adam Banks' brother?
We had Adam Banks there. I don't know. We need a big move though, Logan. We need Flaherty's got to go at some point, right?
Flaherty's got to go. Dylan Carlson's got to go. I'm surprised the Nationals haven't gotten rid of anybody.
Well, they got
Floro,
rid of your
Flanagan.
boy Winkler. They got
Yeah,
they
I
got
mean,
rid of-
but Winker.
they got rid
Dang
of
it, Darren, you got me screwed up now.
I got you messed up now. That's what I did.
Darren Winker. Winker is on. He's a rental. Gosh, Darren.
Hey, Logan, real quick though, we haven't talked before we get to the deadline because I know we're going to get some flurry of moves. The 3-team trade. I want Tyler's on, so I feel like it's a good time. We got 3 weeks. That was the biggest trade of the whole deadline so far in terms of like moves. The Cardinals end up with the starter free. They end up with Pham. The Dodgers end up with Koepka and Edman. The White Sox end up with prospects that apparently they aren't very good, according to people are out there. But the idea that the Dodgers get those and the Cardinals they get Tommy Pham back is people were. I've never seen so many people upset about Tommy Edman getting traded from a fan base. Like, are the Dodgers getting just like a David Eckstein type player? What's going on here?
I don't know what they got. I mean,
It's kind of overrated.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I've never liked Tommy Edman. I don't think he's very great. I actually got his overall stats right here. 265 average, 319 on base, 626 OPS, and a 99 OPS plus. He's not a power hitter. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of those trades that you hear from, like when you think of John Mozeliak trades, you think of him getting Arenado for, a bag of peanuts, and then they paid him like with a Corvette. Like basically that was how it happened. And so, oh good Lord, I swear if I hear about defense one more time, Josh.
He loves the defense. What a performance for the defense there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
I like the Dodgers going and getting Kopech. He's a top prospect. He obviously hasn't flourished yet, but just a change of scenery for a guy who's that talented with that arm. I don't know. I just see it working in LA because it was a low risk move in what they gave up. So Kopech with that lineup around him, I don't know if he matures a little bit and figures it out. That's a good addition. It's a scary addition going forward. Is the stuff he actually has.
I thought the Dodgers would go like the Braves. To me, are a team here that's confusing me. I mean, as we're getting to the end of the deadline here, there's literally 7 minutes left in this deadline. Like the Braves are a confusing team for me. Maybe they just feel like the Soler edition was enough. I don't know. I guess I expected the Braves to make more of a move with Acuna Jr. out and the team they have. I'm a little disappointed in the Braves. That's all I'm going to say. A little disappointed in them.
Maybe they think Matt Olson will play like last year's Matt Olson and be a nice pickup at the deadline. Like, I don't know. He's giving you nothing. The Braves, it's probably tough to trade when Acuna's out. Like the year they won the World Series and Acuna was out, they added guys, but it was guys you didn't think were going to get them a World Series, and there they were.
Jock Peterson.
Standing there winning. Yeah, Jock Peterson. Soler was on that team.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. It's tough when your best player's out.
Is there another team you might be disappointed in, Tyler? I know your Giants are pissed at too.
I mean,
you want to give your thoughts on? I mean, I know you gave a little thoughts on the Giants, but you're on. I know you like the Giants here. As we get to the deadline, why are you frustrated with them?
It's the same thing every year with Farhan. He'll acquire these middle lane players. He'll overpay for veterans who don't work out, and then he'll trade them away for basically just salary dumps. Which I don't mind. They need to do that if they're not gonna help you win games in the future. And I don't think Soler will, or Luke Jackson's been god awful. It's a pleasure to see him gone. I just want to see him go with a youth movement and bring in one superstar at some point. Let Birdsong, let Webb, let Harrison pitch, and then bring up Luciano. I want to watch Luciano. I know he can't play defense, but there's a lot of guys playing shortstop right now that don't play defense. But they hit and they give you something. They bring excitement. Like.
Oh,
I don't know.
Breaking news.
Fan for the last 4 years.
Well,
breaking news. The Dodgers have acquired Jack Flaherty.
There it is.
And on that note, I'm out of here. F the Dodgers.
Tyler McGurk, thanks for joining us, my man.
Sports
with a slur. Be sure to check it out, Team B Hobbs.
Wow.
Appreciate that, Tyler Judins. Oh, man. Jack Flaherty to the Dodgers. Breaking news here. So he finally gets dealt. What do you make?
I'm surprised by that. I thought the Yankees were going to really go after him. I think he would have played really well for the Yankees, but Dodgers is also not too surprising. But yeah, I mean they needed that, and I think I was going to say a couple minutes ago they said I guess officially the doors had closed. That Garrett Crochet will not be traded to at the deadline, and so I think that deal might have come together pretty quickly. As Ken Rosenthal just said, it sounded like, decision apparently rests with Detroit. So it sounds like the Dodgers just came across in the last 5 minutes,
Swooped him up.
Yeah, swooped him up. So that's really interesting to me. Surprising that he stayed that long. Jack is finally going to the place where he always wanted to go. He can go home and stay. I hope. Never mind. I'm not even going to say anything, Joshy Poo. I love you very much.
4 minutes left.
Yeah.
That's breaking news there if we've ever seen it. So
yeah.
we finally get Flaherty moved like we thought. The Dodgers, their pitching has took. I mean, you kind of called it before the season started a little bit with some of their injury replay. I mean, does this? They've been good, right? But they haven't been
dominant
like we thought.
Yeah.
Kershaw's coming back. You add Flaherty now. You got Koepka. You got Edman. I mean, they're kind of making a little push here. Maybe it's not the same Trey Turner Machado move, but these are pretty solid moves.
Yeah, I mean, I think as Bob Nightingale just says, Dodgers strike big. They land number 2 started prospect, or starting Jack Flaherty. The Dodgers were also heavily in talks with the White Sox for Garrett Crochet before pivoting to Flaherty. So it sounds like that fell apart and then everything. But yeah, I mean, I told you this. Well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Oh my gosh. Josh is very distracting today. But yeah, Walker Buehler, Kershaw, even who's the big Afro guy? Dustin May.
Yep.
And even Gonsolin to an extent. Oh man, here's another one. Dodgers have also acquired Kevin Kiermaier from the Blue Jays.
Who was that?
Kevin Kiermaier to the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, another move along the way here, adding a little bit more depth. So they've added now quite a bit of pieces.
But anyways, they're adding a lot at the last minute. But
that's a big move.
But yeah, the Walker Buehler, Dustin May, and Gonsolin and Kershaw even have just been unreliable to be consistent. And on paper, whenever they're playing, they're awesome. But the problem is Dustin May has not made more than 10 starts in his career before having 3 Tommy John surgeries and out for the rest of the seasons. Kershaw is out every other day. Walker Buehler makes 2 starts and then he's out. And so they need someone who doesn't get injured all the time. And so, I mean, I think at the offseason they really need to figure out who can stay not injured, basically. Luis Garcia goes from Angels to Red Sox.
The Angels were a weird team for me so far. We're kind of talking about we kind of keep it as you're bringing in deadline moves. We're talking about disappointing teams. I mean, what were the Angels doing? We haven't heard Ward's name.
Yeah, Tyler Anderson.
Why aren't they in the mix here? Very confusing what the Angels are doing.
Yeah, so I don't know what they were really doing. It seems like they're still kind of. Oh wow, Martin Perez to the Padres right now.
Who?
Martin Perez from the Pirates to. Oh my gosh, Dylan Carlson to the Tampa Bay Rays. So
to the Rays.
I think that might be Fairbanks. I was actually going to say this earlier. I wish I had, but I think they might get Fairbanks.
What a deal that would be.
Oh, please tell me they get Fairbanks. I wanted to say this earlier. I was like, I think the Rays are going to be a last minute team.
I think
Sean
Fairbanks would be
Armstrong. Okay, never mind. Whatever.
not the guy you were hoping for.
So yeah, wow. Yeah. So as the trade deadline is officially over, we are getting everything. Dylan Carlson to the Rays. Jack Flaherty has been informed he is a Dodger. Wow.
Man, trade
Sean
Mike
Armstrong
Trout.
from the Rays for Dylan Armstrong.
So
Dylan Carlson.
Okay, so you traded Carlson,
Yeah.
and who did we get back?
Let's see. What's his name?
Who did your Cardinals get back?
Sean Armstrong.
Not
I'm
Lance.
looking him up right now.
Sean.
Wow, he's been in the majors for 10 years. He's a pitcher. Well, yeah, we knew that. And
to the Rays. Interesting move.
Yeah. Wow. 5.40 ERA, 73 ERA plus, 376 FIP, 160 WHIP. So not great. Not something I love with all my heart. He's played in 38 games. So I don't know what happened with Floro and the Nationals. So I guess maybe Mozeliak just I guess the Nationals just weren't feeling like getting jerked around by Mozeliak, but that was interesting. It seemed like a Floro deal was coming. So
okay,
yeah,
so
interesting. Sorry.
So just to get the last couple deals in. So what do we have here? We had Flaherty to the Dodgers. That was the big one. You have Carlson to the Rays.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't getting Fairbanks back in the deal.
Nope.
So why are we getting rid of Carlson for nobody then? Is he just people hate him in St. Louis at this point?
He needed a change of scenery, and it just was not. He needed a change of scenery, and there was just so many. They needed to get rid of a guy to open up the spot for Pham and Fede. So Jameson Taillon stays. The Dodgers are sending prospects. They run Lorenzo and Trey Sweeney to the Tigers for Jack Flaherty. Carlson for Sean Armstrong. Luis Garcia goes from the Angels to the Red Sox. Kevin Kiermaier to the Dodgers. Tanner Banks to the Phillies.
So those are good moves.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that the Phillies didn't get an outfielder. I think they needed another.
I thought they were going to get Rooker. I thought that's who I thought they were going to go after, but I think they made that move for Hayes. That kind of ended that spot of it. Hey, as we kind of get to the deadline's passed here, we kind of get to the end of it here. What do you think now that the deadline is passed? And there might be a few that trickle in, and we'll get to, and that will change our perspective maybe here. But
yeah,
I think these are going to be the main moves here that you got. There might be one more that sneaks in here. But, as the standings stick out the way they are, and now that the deadline is passed, what part of the standings kind of surprised you a little bit? What kind of makes you kind of intrigued for the second half a little bit?
Man. Phillies upgraded a lot, it seemed like, definitely with their bullpen. Getting Carlos Estevez, I think was his name, was
from the Angels. Yep.
Yeah, that was a big one. And so I think the Mariners made some really good upgrades. I think they're going to stay for real. When they get Julio Rodriguez back, that's going to be really interesting. But I think the Astros. I think the Astros. Whoa. Oh, Joshy Poo.
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
You heard Dylan Carlson just got traded.
How excited are you?
I'm super excited. I don't know who the hell we got though.
Yeah, Sean Armstrong.
It was Lance Armstrong's brother.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. Hopefully he's got both his nuts.
You're gonna need it. Yeah, we were just talking about some of the deadline. What's kind of caught your attention? And we got my guy Josh Edwards joining us here. What are you making so far of the deadline here?
It's been an exciting last 5 minutes or so with Flaherty finally getting dealt. That's great news. I'm happy DC's gone. I wish we could have traded Gorman and picked up, another pitcher or a more reliable bat, but it is what it is.
You saw Flaherty went to the Dodgers, right? You saw that one.
Yeah.
You saw that. So I know you don't have the standings in front of you, but like based on the moves that were made, we were kind of what kind of is the wild card, the NL wild card, just the most up for grabs that it's ever been?
Oh, absolutely. In my opinion, it is. I mean, you had a few teams make moves that are in contention. Atlanta didn't do a lot. The Cardinals made a couple moves. The Giants basically just resigned themselves out of it. I feel like the Mets resigned themselves out of it. So I think that closes up how open it is. But, it's baseball. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm happy that the Mariners went out and got a bat. At least that will help with the pitching staff, I guess.
No doubt. At least and they got a couple bats. They got Turner. I feel like the Mariners could have done a little bit more, though. I feel like that's a team that we'll probably talk a little bit next Thursday, that they probably could have done a little bit more along the way there with it. Logan, you hearing any other trades coming in?
Not at the moment. Let's see. Wow, Josh.
Josh has some sort of like cricket there in his cars.
It's like the freaking robots from that Doctor Who show.
Oh no, these are the the dice from the Star Wars Solo movie?
No, the feedback from, I guess we're having vibrations every time we talk.
You got a little
but anyways, there's nothing really coming out. We're just.
Well, Edwards, let's get your final thoughts on this. So I know we're going to be here Thursday. Me and Logan will be wrapping this up here in a few minutes. You'll be with us on Thursday here. We're going to do our usual 7th inning stretch here along the way. We'll get a little bit more into detail about it, but what's your biggest takeaway? There was a ton of moves here made at the deadline. We'll get into it more Thursday, but kind of just your kind of final thoughts here as they wrapped up the deadline here on Tuesday.
Lots of moves today, like you just said. I don't know if anything is a game changer for anybody per se. But we'll find out. It was exciting. Yesterday was a better day, in my opinion, than today, up until the last hour and a half, 2 hours here. But you guys did a great job. I'll give Logan some credit for standing in for me since I was still, doing my real job. And I was listening to you guys. Obviously, I was in the chat.
Appreciate it.
It's interesting trade deadline. We'll see what happens. I think this just made things a lot more clear for the wild card runnings. That's kind of where I'm at with it. We kind of know who's in and who's out now. So.
Edwards, go ahead, Logan.
Oh, I was going to say, I think the biggest takeaway is the Astros. The only thing that they really got was Kikuchi, and Kikuchi is not a game changer, I don't think. And they definitely could have benefited from a Yandy Diaz or some of these bigger bats, and so that's a big thing, I think. Oh my gosh, what the heck?
You got one more?
Yeah, Tigers have traded outfielder Mark Canha to the Giants.
Whoa, Tyler, you out? Oh, across the bay now. End up there.
And Reds have traded Austin Slater to the Orioles.
He's now traded again from the Reds. The Reds, I'm going to get into a little bit more on Thursday. They've been one of the weirdest teams in the trade deadline for me. I just don't understand what they're doing with it. Edwards, we got a little microphone issue there, but buddy, I'm going to see you on Thursday, all right? We'll look forward to that conversation. Thanks for popping in.
Sounds good, fellas. Have a great night.
All right. See you, Edwards. Appreciate you. Wow, Canha doesn't go to your Cardinals as you expected.
I wish he did. He's just going to be one of those guys that perfectly fits the Cardinals and then will never be a Cardinal. I don't get why he's going to the Giants. That doesn't
it's a weird trade for the Giants.
I don't get it. But it's whatever.
It's an odd one.
It's odd. It's this whole thing. The sellers who are buyers also, I've never seen so many sellers who are buyers and buyers who are sellers.
It's been odd. It's been one of. You're right. I kind of look forward to. That's the thing about this deadline. A lot of the mid teams, I feel like, because now they have so many more playoff positions available, it really does kind of change the deadline. There was a lot of trades made, but a lot of mid trades along the way as well. I think we can admit to that. And maybe the big star players just not being available. All right, before I get to, I do have an MLB trivia for Logan Stone today.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Before I get to that, let me get the last question. What division now has your attention the most? Like just in one division, we talked wild card maybe the most, but is there a division? Is it still the AL East? Is there one division that kind of stands out where you're like, okay, these trades allow me to, I want to focus in a little bit more here.
Yeah, I mean, the Central, it seems like.
AL or NL?
I'm sorry, the AL Central seems like it's become, it's just that it's not the Indians, the Guardians to lose.
The Guardians didn't do much.
They didn't, but they did get Lane Thomas, and they did.
I feel like he's okay.
I think he's a solid outfielder, and I think he solidifies that outfield. And basically every other team didn't do anything. Oh my gosh, the D-backs got right-handed reliever Dylan Floro from the Nationals.
Your boy did Finnegan go in that as well?
It's not looking like it, so that's a little surprising.
We thought for sure he would maybe go too, huh?
Yeah. So there's more trades coming in.
Yeah, we'll stay on. We're still on for a few. We're still on for a little bit here, so we'll kind of give you a last low. I think the big trades are done though.
Yeah. Maybe
I would think that most of those are over with. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. I say that, and then at 5:30, once we get off, we're gonna get like Mike Trout sent to the Yankees.
Emergency pod. We'll get there with it. Vladdy Guerrero to this. I got the bottom here. I said like throwback trades that I always liked from the past. I had the Giants, Zach Wheeler. We had a few of those at the deadline. Obviously, a lot of people know about the Sabathia one. So a lot of good trades here. Logan Stone, this has got a fun kind of recapping it live with you. I mean, Thursday we'll kind of we're going to do a little grades for each team, what they did at the deadline. We'll kind of recap a little bit of what the second half looks like a little bit more. We'll have a couple more games under our belt as well. So we'll kind of see where we look like standings there with it. Josh Edwards will be with me Thursday. Maybe even we can get Logan Stone back. Who knows on the car? Maybe in the car, Aaron, as always, there on a Thursday. So we'll see if we can get him on for a little bit too. Maybe give his final thoughts on some of the grade reaction I have. Looking forward to that second half. Logan Stone, but I do want to get a trivia with you here before we get out of here. You're always one of my – so we'll get it on the board here, MLB trivia. Hit number 1. I played from 2007 to 2020 in the outfield and was traded twice in my career at the deadline, both times to NL teams. Again, maybe not the easiest hit number 2. So that's what we look for. 2007 to 2020, I played in the outfield and was traded twice in my career at the deadline, both times to NL teams. Hit number 2. I'm gonna see if Logan has a guess. You got a guess?
Okay. No, no.
All right,
I
was gonna be surprised. Hit number 2. I was a 4-time All-Star. I was a 2-time World Series champion, and
it's on the tip of my tongue.
With 244 home runs. Again, hit number 1. Played from 2007 to 2020. Only in the outfield and was traded twice in my career at the trade deadline. Both times to the NL. Hit number 2.
Oh,
4-time All-Star.
Oh wait, no, he's not a World Series champion. Never mind.
Do we want hit number 3?
I was gonna say Nelson Cruz, but it's not him.
Yes, but I think Nelson has more homers.
Does it really? Okay.
Hit number 3?
Go ahead.
All right, hit number 3. Again, this was you on there, Logan, so I'm going to make him a little – I can't put him on a T as quite. I know you know your baseball with it. I made the All-Star team in 2019 with the Texas Rangers, and I started out my career, played a few years there, Logan, to make it fair, with the
is this J.J. Redick?
It is not J.J. Redick, the sharpshooter from Duke University. Not
Reddick, Josh Reddick. I'm sorry.
I know you're JJ. The coach for the Lakers. No, I did not change sports on you. Not Josh Reddick.
Oh my gosh, I have him now.
I feel like one final clue might help you, but it will probably give it away. But I will, if you want, I can throw it to you.
Oh, who is it?
I was traded from the Astros to the Phillies, and then I was traded.
Hunter Pence.
Hunter Pence.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
The correct answer. Trade deadline special. He was part of two big trade deadlines. Won the 2 World Series with the San Francisco.
Stupid. He went from because the first trade deadline was Astros to the Phillies, and then it was Was it Phillies to the Giants? Yeah.
Yep. Back-to-back years, he got traded right at the deadline there. The reason I got it, one of my favorite plays against your Cardinals.
Oh, why do you do this?
The triple at bat here. This is kind of just one of the funny ones. Josh Andrews still
has been frustrated in this series in the postseason in general. Line drive. Now it's scorched by Cosma. 1 run scores.
What are we doing in center?
Jay drops it in center.
This is 2000. Oh, this is 2012.
Yep.
And it's 5-0.
But it was the bat. It was like that one triple at where it hit it twice. He broke the bat. Remember that?
Oh, right.
So the shortstop started going to the left, and then it hit the bat again on the second on the swing through. They'll get it up right here on the video, but he basically swung, got jammed, and then the barrel of the bat hits it again right here. So you'll see he jams him, breaks it, and then kind of takes the ball a different way, and you can see the infielder reacted differently. So Hunter Pence, that's one against those Cardinals there. John Jay, what are you doing out there? You got to be able to get that ball. Hunter Pence got Logan Stone with one. I like it. We got him with them. Those are hard clues. I won't give it to you. Those are hard clues.
I don't know what I was thinking, but I saw 2007 to 20, and I thought, oh, this is – and then I got stuck on Nelson Cruz, so I'm –
Nelson threw you off a little bit. Thursday night, Logan, see if you can get me out. I'll see if I can get you again on Thursday. I got Edwards there with it. Man, that was kind of fun. I appreciate you. I don't think me and you have done a show together for a long time, so it was fun being able to do a show. I know you join us quite a bit still when you can on 7th Inning Stretch. Obviously, you are the founder, one of the co-founders of this show, so I'm always honored to be able to kind of be part of it with it and be able to kind of keep on that legacy you created with it. So appreciate you jumping on. We got breaking news maybe?
No? We do. So the Baltimore Orioles are acquiring left-handed reliever Gregory Soto from the Phillies for right-handed pitching prospect Seth Johnson.
So the Orioles are really going – I mean, different type of going for it, Logan, but they've added a lot of depth to their team here.
Yeah, I mean, they are getting pitching. I mean, it's really interesting to me. I mean, that is their big – I mean, I think they were very active this trade deadline. I think they were really wanting Skubal at first, and that became more unlikely. And then they wanted Crochet, and that became very unlikely at the last minute. So they really couldn't get anyone. I don't think they really wanted to try again with Jack Flaherty after they got burned last year.
Oh, I don't blame them for that.
But yeah, so it's, I mean,
the Jimenez deal I don't hate. I honestly think there's some upside to that trade. For when they got Eloy Jimenez.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying he's a great player. You've mentioned he's injury prone up the wazoo. But I don't necessarily – I don't know, who is your biggest winner before we get out of here?
I think it's the Orioles. I think I mean, they are a really good team, and they got better. Now, it's not leaps and bounds better, but I think that they got better. I mean, their bullpen is night and day, honestly. I think they got Anthony Dominguez, Gregory Soto, and some other really good bullpen arms that will help them. So I think at the end of the day, their bullpen got better. And so that's really going to help them, especially in the playoffs.
I kind of thought maybe with Kimbrel's solid, obviously. We know he's got the numbers career-wise, but, I thought Scott might be their guy. They don't get Adams, but they've added a lot of depth there at that position. They've added what I would call they had a lot. I feel like they were very lefty-heavy in some areas, so I think that's why the Jimenez gives them a little depth there at that right-hander bat. They have Hayes that comes on as well, so I think the Orioles are a good call there with that as well. As we get some late news, before I get some other late deadline moves here along the way. I look forward to kind of the second half now. This is where the dog days begin, Logan. So this is the fun there with it. The trade deadline, Christmas Day is over, but this is where the money is made. These are where the teams these next 2 months are going to really make their push. So it'll be interesting which one of these deadline moves, well, as we see it, leads to a World Series. Helps lead to a World Series.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see where it is there with it. So for Logan Stone, I'm Darren Breyer. Appreciate you guys tuning in here on Variety Sports Network to our trade deadline special. First one here that we've done live here in a while. So for Logan Stone, I'm Darren Breyer. Thank you, Josh Edwards, Tyler McGurk, everybody else that commented, Aaron, Orioles, the Binge podcast there. Appreciate all of you guys tuning into it. So for next time, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.